Welcome to Cannon Fodder TV and the big Sunday show. As you can probably hear, I'm a little hoarse. Lots of celebrations yesterday. I'm tired. My throat's tired. And look, Arsenal made us wait for that result yesterday. And in true Arsenal style, and I mean that heart pumping very, 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 very fast. Look, Arsenal supporting them, never good for your health. But yeah, we come out 3 points and look, we move on. So joining us today, Des, the enforcer,
Hello.
and Ralph. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad to hear you.
I think it's all good.
Go on, man. Go.
It's a day after the day before. It's all good.
Yeah.
I think I can actually see colour and smell the. It was a bit of a sunny day today. It went a bit cloudy, but a bit of sunshine. So yeah, after yesterday, it was a really good day today. Has been.
The sun shines on the blessed.
How's your day been, Des?
The sun shines on the.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what they say down here, or across here. So we're down the way.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's good.
No, lovely,
It's good. But, no, go on, Paul. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think, well, look, we got a lot to go through, haven't we?
We have.
Wednesday night, and then yesterday. God, I need a drink already. Right, join us after this quick little music intro. Yeah, so what a game. Football. Football. Don't you just love it?
Yep.
You look at how that game was, and weren't a fan that was going to predict how that game started and how hard it was going to be. In all honesty, I think there was obviously a lot of people that were expecting a walkover again. Testament to how well Jones has sorted out. Is it it's Jones, isn't it? It's his surname, the manager, isn't he? I can't remember. Well, the manager.
I can't remember.
No, but he's coming and he has shored it up a little bit. And look, from being so like whipping boys. Excuse me. Alert! Someone's trying to find my phone. funny one. But look, they've come to the Emirates. They've had to really dig in and put in a performance. We knew it was going to be ugly, didn't we? I think we all kind of knew that they were going to set up well, and make it really hard. What we didn't expect was a goal inside 9 seconds. Ralph, that watch along.
Yeah.
I don't even think you managed to sit down by the time that had happened.
No. I was my streak, the nefarious matches I tried to get on my phone. As I was still fiddling around, the goal had really gone in. So it was crazy. And actually, you brought up in the chat earlier other streams that weren't too happy with the first goal for the day, and apparently the coach did say that they kind of practice that kind of move. You know what? For innovation, you can't knock Bournemouth because they did catch us on the op. But any kind of Premiership team really shouldn't allow themselves to be in like 9.7 seconds or whatever it was.
911. Yeah, call the emergency services. That's what it was. 9.11. And
yeah, it was not good. But I did say that that's the thing about the Premiership, is that any team could take. I did mention the potential banana skin. When you look at, they did play kind of slow on Wednesday night as well. So yeah, and it's something that we have to be the team has to be very aware of. If we also play against Liverpool, and definitely want to play against Man City, start off on that kind of like back foot, it could be very, very hard to try and come back from. Almost set up, and actually they had a breakaway chance within the 8 or 9 minutes.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Ramsdale pulled out a fantastic save. We could the game could have been drawn. If you look at it from the chances that were taken, it could have been a drawn game at home. We wouldn't have experienced the euphoria of last second winner. But to be honest, Bournemouth got up a really good fight. They were very tactical. When they broke away, it's like they're more likely to score. And then when we were on the ball, and Saka blasting the ball against is it Melo? He stopped the ball with his face. We were very, very on it, but they looked like they were more likely to score. Arsenal seem to be that kind of team that takes a bit of a while for, and thank God we did, because the second half was just something extraordinary.
Yeah, I think what you found is there was a reaction straight up, and yeah, it was one of those. The game hadn't started; they hadn't even touched the ball. And I said to them, they've worked on it. But a couple of guys who I was sitting with, I said that was something that they worked on, because it was so specific, and you saw the runs of the players, and it was done with meaning, and it was like one of those where they've worked on that, and they've tried to do it. And look, it's come out. They put a cross through. Yeah, Gabriel, a little miss kick, and it's gone through. It can happen, but yeah, look, it's one of those where you say, is that a too early goal? You can always that little phrase where it's like, yeah, have they scored too early, or have we scored too early? It's one of those. we were on it.
Go. Well, there are those that say it shouldn't have stood, because there was someone over the halfway line before the ball was kicked. But it doesn't matter now. That's relevant. But that's what was going around as well. Do you know what I mean? And I think you've got to say fair play to Bournemouth. Came to play. They came to play. They played well, and I think by the end of the game they were all tired, and that's possibly why we won it. But also as well,
I think also that. Sorry, Des. I was going to say, I think that you're right in your observation that players were encroaching on beyond the halfway line. And if you want to pick up the linesmen, they weren't really that good. The amount of potential, it may have been a bit harsh maybe on a few, but the penalty, there was definitely something Miasha got kicked in the box, and how that didn't get reviewed or looked at, I don't know. I don't. Up to this day, I always say we shouldn't have to rely on VAR, because we don't get them. We don't get those decisions at home. If we do, out of maybe about 20 they should have had, maybe we'll probably get maybe 1 or 2, a ratio of 1 or 2 out of 20. I always feel that we are the team that we've got at this moment in they are on the up. It's not like where if we were a goal down, then we could have been down 2 or 3. And it changed within the last season. I think last season had a lot of key moments when we could have won and been in the top four for Europe. No doubt, Amazon will play out quite a few seasons of Arsenal to try and like establish that kind of point. And I think a lot of the players have grown up, saying, you know what, I'm in this team now. Up and you can see from the younger players like Saka and Martinelli and Udin, the mentality change has shifted from last season to this season.
Totally. But we could have had 4 penalties yesterday. Tomiyasu, the one on Tomiyasu should have been a penalty. There was about 3 or 4 handballs that weren't even, well, they were checked by VAR, but I don't know what angle they were looking from, because I can think of definitely one where we should have had a penalty with Billy. It definitely hit him on the hand.
Yeah, I think
Can you guys tell me what handball is now? Because I genuinely don't know.
Yeah,
I genuinely don't know what handball is.
It's the whole kind of changing. Every game's different, but I look at it and I think probably not.
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
They weren't blatant handballs, but again, they're just right on there. And you just suddenly think, I've seen games that are given, and then some are not. So
yeah, I think when VAR was first introduced, I felt that some of the decisions were quite harsh because your hand has to be in a kind of position where it looks like you're handling the ball. You always notice that there's always 1 or 2 players that would help the ball along. Don't forget Team was handling the ball against Ireland for their World Cup campaign, and that was allowed. There's no VAR, but that was allowed. But the situation has changed from the ball has to struck your hand in an awkward position to ball lands. If it's going to be land below the sleeve, or is it on the forearm, or is it on the actual hand? Many kind of permutations to what it is that no one's come up and said is exactly. It just seems to be up to the referee, and then the referee won't give the obvious one. Ask VAR for the ones that they don't want to make a decision on, and VAR decides not to give it. It seems to be more swings and roundabouts.
Don't you find as well, though, lads, we're talking about VAR every week when it comes to an Arsenal match. It seems that VAR creeps in every week. But there was on my commentary on the one that I was watching. Handball is the whole arm, is it not? Or is it? Am I totally wrong in that?
I believe handball is just below the shoulder to the whole arm. That's what I would have deemed it.
There was one of my commentators said, "Oh, it's not handball because it hit him on the tricep." Well, the tricep is below. Anyway, I mean, yeah, it just proves the point. We don't know what handball is.
No.
Yeah, it's one of those
interpretation.
They're masking around the whole. So I think one of them was where I think one of the defenders had gone up and
it hit him on the.
It's always come up and it's come and just hit him kind of like there, and that's what they're talking
just
about.
Just below the shoulder, wasn't it?
Yeah,
just below the shoulder.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
But even if you do,
but then also,
sorry, love. Even if you do,
I was going to say, just before the corner,
do throw out the handballs, you've still got the foul on Tomiyasu.
Yeah,
that was the more blatant one, which I thought should have been a penalty. The handballs, I can see him not given, but then also given. But yeah, I wouldn't be too harsh on them really, because I don't think they were blatant handballs. It's hit an arm, but again, there isn't a huge amount you can really do to it. It's not like he's going to float his arm out and just suddenly just going to try to catch the ball or something like that. But yeah, to say there's some silly ones that have been given. I just want to break there a minute. We have Desmond all the way from Uganda, and he's joining us for his debut. Are you able to turn your camera around, Desmond? it's a little bit easier on my neck. Right. There you go. Nice one. How are you, Desmond?
So I'm mute.
Are you on mute?
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're very well. We're very well.
Hi, Desmond.
All right, Desmond. You're doing
Hello.
okay, thank you.
We finally got you in. So
Yeah, actually, I was caught up a little bit. Connection was a little bit difficult for me, but good to be here. It's a pleasure.
no worries. It's good to have you on. Just wanted to get a little take, and I'm pretty certain every Arsenal fan has seen social media and some of the compilation kind of videos of like the celebrations in Uganda. What were the scenes like over there? I'm saying I'm trying to. I've seen all these kind of supporter clubs all the way around from the Philippines all the way through. You know what I mean? What was it like for you guys?
Surely, this is one of the games that I made me feel an Arsenal fan again. You know, like you get into yourself and you're like, well, this is happening. You know, I watch this game. I usually watch actually from home, but then this time I was like, you know, we're smashing teams. Well, I may go out and catch the game with my friends. You know, but before I could even get a drink and sit down, the scoreline is like, I'm like, what's going on? The place is all quiet. Guys are all, you know, and my guy just tapped on me and he was like, man, check out the scoreline. And I was like, what? I was shocked at 2-0. The whole place was absolutely quiet. But I'm telling you guys, at full time, you couldn't tell who was the security, who was like running the place or what. It was absolutely ecstatic, you know. Guys were mixed up. And I'm telling you, just above here, there is a military base. And it looks like all the guys there support Arsenal. Because the sheer noise and jubilation that came up from this side, I was like, yeah, this is it. I think, you know, the celebrations were absolutely mad. Guys went absolutely crazy. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like this might be our year, you know. This might be our year. We've been down in the coach for a long time, you know. And trust me, maybe you guys haven't had that experience, but in Uganda, it's all about United, Arsenal, probably Liverpool and Chelsea. That is it. This stuff of Stoke, West Ham, blah, blah, blah. It's not here. So the rivalry is fierce, and you know, it was one of the best games, you know, to watch, especially with friends and guys out there.
Yeah, no, I would say I was in the stadium, but Desmond obviously not really spoke before, but yeah, I go to every game, and yeah, to hear that stadium, even just the roar, and you I don't know if you've seen the Paul Merson one on Sky Sports, and you just heard his reaction, when you heard the noise, and it was deafening. But what
definite for sure.
But look,
I think what is amazing is watching the other platform. I've seen one of the clips from, I think one's from Cambia, and you got some from the States. Their reaction was more in
yeah.
And Righty, of course, I love Righty. I think it was it was the co-host for Match of the Day, Gary Lineker, and that's gone viral. I think it's just those fans who were in the stadium yesterday. You guys are blessed because you know to match going from 10 seconds that you'll go down to the second half you'll say on the watch along that I don't recall Arsenal ever coming back from 2 goals down. But
No.
I remember.
You know the last time, Ralph?
When was the last time?
I think it was 2011, and it was against Tottenham. We were 2-0 down, and we come back. We won 3-2. Let me have a quick.
Where Fabregas scores from their kickoff. Is it that one?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it was that one.
Yeah, I remember like thinking, oh, I don't believe this. By the time I got to the house, Fabregas, I think he does, and is it Zick who scores the third?
Yeah, I think it was Rosicki, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, sorry, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't a 3-2. It was a 5-2.
Ah.
We had
Yes, I think so. 5-2.
We had back-to-back years of beating Tottenham 5-2. That was like our kind of like favourite score, like for like 2 years. So just kept on beating them 5-2.
Do you know what it showed yesterday? Do you know what it showed yesterday, guys? Though, in all honesty, it showed how strong this team is, and how resilient, and how mentally strong we are this season.
I'd like to say about the actual team. When you heard the team lineup, were you at all surprised, guys?
For me, it was Vieira and Tommy Ashu. Thought we was relatively strong. You know, I kind of like reckon that we did Lopez who played midweek to have a bit of a rest. Eddie wasn't on the bench even. You know, from that kind of standpoint, I felt that if we'd scored first, then we probably would have. The scoreline might have more. In fact, it may have been like a 4-0. It's amazing how you start finding faults when you're a goal down, and I was saying that time flies when you're a goal down, and that Bournemouth may have felt they were in charge when they went into the break one goal up. When the second goal went in, I was thinking I wasn't sure where we were going to get a goal from. It had to be open play for us to get there.
I mean, we created like 30 chances, didn't we? We had 17 quarters. There was about 17, 18 quarters in the game, and it was like mad.
I mean, I must admit, when we went 1-0 down, I wasn't bothered. I thought we could turn this round. A little bit worried when the second one went in.
Yeah.
But when Partey scored, I said to myself, "They're still tight," and there you go. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had corner on corner yesterday. We were having shots from outside the box. Saka was having shots from outside the box. It just frustrating. It was frustrating. But like we said already, but it's the truth. The amount of emotions as fans we went through yesterday, I think we went through everything more emotion damage.
Yeah. No, I think what it shows again is making sure we play for that full 90 minutes plus the additional time. And once again, we see another team over-exerting themselves with their under-exerting themselves by wasting time. And it was their downfall at the end of the day because, all the talk saying about, we played 97 minutes of 6 minutes of added time. It was them. As soon as we hit 90 minutes, the keeper went down, the keeper went down straight after we scored the first goal and just literally was feigning injury. And it just kept on going. But we've had Newcastle, we've had Jordan Pickford. It's like it's happening every single week where there's got to be some rule change, I think, on that side. Whether or not a player
I was just saying, do you know what got me about that? Right,
Mm.
Neto was time wasting, like you said, but when he got booked, he didn't get booked for time wasting. He got booked for dissent.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, so he could have had about 3 yellow cards that game. No word of a lie. 10 minutes, I'd clocked up around potentially about a minute of added time. They only gave us 3 minutes over the whole first half, which was crazy. But look, we have to stay patient, and we know when these teams sit with their low block and they have players behind the ball. I noticed they had no focal point now. It was a striker back, and they were playing 30 yards from goal. So everyone was back. But like Ralph said, they used the ball very well when they tried to counter us, because they ping a ball off into the channels, and they would then look to exploit the space. But yeah, I think maybe where we are trying to search for a goal, that made us a little bit open. But they had a bit of pace and they had a bit of physicality with that slam kick. So Saliba, again, with someone that's a little bit more physical, a bit more stronger. You don't see him as commanding as he normally is. Not that I'm not saying he had a bad game or anything, but I sometimes find he gets a little bit flustered just in how he is and his demeanour by playing with that bigger striker. You understand? Yeah, it's not a bad thing, because it just means that he's still developing, he's still learning, he's still got to get up to speed with this English game. But overall,
I think the growing, the more confidence is being built. How can I put this? I won't say I'm not a negative person. Arsenal fan through and through. I've been an Arsenal fan since '71, and I've seen the potentials and we should have been and everything else. From what I've seen from, although it may not have been reflected in my watch along, what I've seen is that the fact that they do have that kind of toughened mentality. It's not really been 3 seasons ago, maybe 4, when we was told that we didn't have any kahunas from Watford. we was told that we had a soft underbelly when we played against. I don't mean to sound disrespectful, when we play against them down season, they undid us. It was mind games from who got Holding sent off, or Holding, he got suckered into it. So that mentality from the team is building, and they're very young men, and Arteta's got them playing in the way that he wants them to play. From the sidelines, from me, I do get anxious. I do show my emotions. I always say, have a shot outside the box. How many times do we see our play? I can understand trying to break the team down when they're in low blocks, but if you've got about 8 defenders and you're flicking the ball up in the air, and the average height of a defender is about 6 foot, our defenders are at the back, and you've got 8 defenders. The ratio is one of those defenders from the opposition is going to get the. So our play has become very intricate, trying to do all this kind of great for the Barcelona teams of the 2000s, 2008, 9, 10. Barcelona, we are Arsenal, and we may have 1 or 2 skillful players. But Reiss Nelson, he took a shot, he chested it, he got it control, he had his head down. I would say head down, and you put your laces through it, the ball would travel and it will stay down. And it's on his weaker foot. He's a right foot player. It's on his weaker foot. He did the same thing. When I was playing, what I liked as a defender is that when favouring his side is ease the block. What's not ease the block? Does a dummy, because you're already committed. You're thinking he's coming in. When it did, and the the striker pulls away, does a dummy, you're hoping that your other central defender are going to close in, you know. And we've got that kind of strategy often enough when we're in those areas. Saka had about maybe 3 chances that if he played Odegaard sooner, or even Reiss Nelson, like I said, you know, the game would have been as dramatic as it has been. But it had to get that way. Me as an observer, as a fan, it was great watching. You know what I mean? It was very tense, and of a fighting for survival in the Premiership. Therefore, every team now we're going to come up against, they know about. Let's see if we can catch Arsenal within 10 seconds, or maybe just before the half is over. Because so far we are off the back foot of when the opposition has got that edge on us. But they're young men, they're trade, and it's not an easy watch. And I must admit, but we've come up to this point before. It's just good to see how we're going to start managing the next set of matches that's going to come along.
So,
yeah, you're right. It can say.
I got Paul. Well, I was just going to say.
No, that's all right. I've just started.
Okay. I was going to say, I think if Trossard had stayed on, I think we might have scored sooner. But he came off, and that made a difference. I mean, I think Trossard has been amazing. Well, I've really enjoyed watching Trossard since he joined us. You know, but I hope his injury isn't too severe. I hope he's back soon. But yeah, I think if Trossard had stayed on, because he was doing stuff with the ball, I think we might have scored sooner than we did.
Yeah, I think the injury was come from when he was making the recovery run back towards goal, when Ramsdale obviously made that save, and yeah, you could just see he pulled up in the box, and yeah, it's a groin. I'm just hoping that it's precautionary. He's just felt it, but nothing's really happened on there, so I don't think he'll play. Maybe say the next game, but yeah, certainly moving forward, potentially Europe. Maybe it's a couple of games off. Maybe he's just got a week off and then see how it is. Rather keep him for the big games and then kind of just get someone else in. Desmond, I just want to go to you. Obviously, with the changes that Arteta had to do in the game, obviously the enforced one with Trossard, and then throughout the game, bringing in Nelson. We know Nketiah is struggling as well, so obviously he was out. He left on crutches on last Wednesday, so that's why he weren't there today. So yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be. Do we have enough to see us through with those? Certainly with Trossard potentially picking up a knock. Have we got enough?
I think maybe the squad is definitely better than it has been, of course, since the last transfer window. But then I think there is more confidence in the squad than before, because we are not like maybe a United that is relying predominantly on Rashford. You know, maybe a City is relying on Haaland, and probably a Chelsea that is still looking for someone to rely on. You know, there are more goals from all over the pitch. I think as a team, we just need to be slicker and faster with our play, because the style of play that Mikel Arteta is executing at this point in time is capable of beating anybody. We know Guardiola used it for a good time without even a recognized centre forward. So we can do this with even maybe some of those players out. But looking at the 12 games we have to play, having everyone back would be an absolute bonus. And what I realized from that game, really, somebody talked about Reiss Nelson shooting on his weaker foot. Just look at all our strikers at this moment in time. Martinelli did it. Of course, he hit the side netting. Saka from the other side. Bangers, almost every week. The guy is doing it on the weaker foot because the expectation of, most defenders is, yes, he's going to cut in and, try to find the top corner or maybe the near post. We've seen how that hasn't worked out for Anthony at United because it gets so predictable. But now and again, if you get in there, go the outside of the man and then hit the roof, that is going to be one thing that unlocks for us. Personally, I really don't have any big fears because I think goals can come all over the team. Trossard he's an advantage. We all know what's happened, and there's usually that slight drop off when a player of his caliber comes off. His trickery, the way he picks up those spaces. That run he made against Everton for the goal, I think Odegaard's goal, was prime Trossard, just looking to get off that last line and just get in behind. And he was a big miss, definitely. He was really a big miss. But I think, as you say, precautionary, they had to take him off. But I don't think he's going to be out for a long time. Eddie is also out, I think. We really need to get into these last games with a full squad, With a full squad. I have that PTSD, over the years. We are going into the crucial part of the season. This guy is out, this guy is out. And then they will all be back when we have nothing to play for. I don't know. So I'm really not so bothered. But then maybe the situation is that these players haven't been in this position before. They have put in a lot. And those injuries are going to come. They are going to come because Trossard was not contacted. He was trying to get back into position. And maybe, the games and the intensity is getting to them. But then you get used over time, that this is how we are going to play. Your body conditioning gets in shape. But I'm really not so much worried. I don't know how you guys feel about it. But for me, I think this team has what it takes. There are still some few holes that need to be plugged. For example, Tomiyasu looks like he's a little bit rusted a bit. Fabio Vieira, I don't know. He needs to go to my local gym, and trying to put on some mass. Guys are just pushing the guy off. Our local gyms in Africa are, tough, bare knuckles. It's really tough. So he needs to put on some mass because I wasn't really impressed with the kind of performance that he put on. I expected him to be a player that is going to affect the game, do some business. As Odegaard carries some weight, he also needs to carry some weight, So it looks like Odegaard was the only one trying to put things together to try and, keep that creative spark in the team, trying to take some shots on at some point in time. But I think, for me, this team just needs to keep on winning. And the home form is going to be absolutely crucial. Very, very crucial. Because we've seen what has happened to United. I was just watching this game. And United were absolutely smashed, man. At this level, once you do not win at home, it is going to be absolutely difficult for you to win away. And once we win home, then we can go out and get something from those games. Because these teams that we are going to face, many of them are not top. They are down there from a few. So we really, really need to get those points on the board because, man, this year, I don't know what. If we do not get this, I will have to shift from this place because guys are absolutely going to smoke me. But I have faith in the team. I think we can do this. And, man, yeah, we really need to get this job done.
Yeah, but we take obviously going into these next few games. Obviously, these are games that we are expected to win. Obviously, being in a title run, we are obviously expected to win. If we don't expect to win those games, then it's not going to happen. There's the enforcer. I want to just go to you about. We talked about Fabio Vieira, and he does need to bulk up. And it was interesting. He was chosen ahead of Xhaka, and I did think when I found that out, are we going to lose that little bit of muscle, that little bit of height, that little bit of physicality that Xhaka brings to that midfield? And my reasons for potentially why Arteta would have made that was maybe to try and deal with that low block and those teams that are very rigid. There's not much space. You need a bit more of an intricate kind of player than what a Xhaka would be. Just being the size, I don't think he's as nimble as, say, one of those kind of players who's a bit quick-feet.
Well,
what did you think?
As you say, Paul, right? The difference between Xhaka and Vieira brings style, where Xhaka definitely brings muscle. You know, I think yesterday was just giving Xhaka a day off. Maybe the starting 11 was more we can beat Bournemouth. We weren't expecting the start that we got.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's such an issue. I think we'll see Xhaka back in.
Yeah, no, I won't say he's doing it, but yeah, he's played every single game.
But also, I think what I think maybe what Arteta's maybe trying to do is play everybody so they all get a medal when we win the league. If we win the league, you know?
I think that's the least of his worries at the minute. I think he's trying to.
No, I just think it was one of those games where we could rotate if we wanted to rotate.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Sure.
And to be honest, I think Arteta was sort of, because we've got a lot of games coming up and we've got the European games coming up and everything else, and I'll maybe give him a little bit of Premier League experience as well, you know, because as I say, maybe Arteta, on a serious note now, maybe Arteta didn't see Bournemouth as a threat and thought, okay, I can play Vieira, I can play Tomiyasu, yeah, you know, and I think that's what the main part of it was. I think we'll be back to normal against harder opposition. But let me give you a quick stat, right? Of the usual 11, every single player, apart from the goalkeeper, has scored more goals than Richarlison this season in the Premier League.
I saw that.
Yeah. So that just shows how good we're becoming, yeah?
I think we need to get Ramsdale to take a penalty. Then it would be the
maybe so. And then it'll be the whole team then. But genuinely, to answer your question just quickly, I think it was a chance for Arteta to rest players that needed to be rested, rotate, and you know, just see how it went. Because as I say, we've got a lot of games coming up. And is there actually an official date for Jesus coming back? Does anybody know?
He's not working. From what I've heard, he's not working directly physically with the first team, so he's not getting proper physical contact. Yeah. He's doing lots of ball work. He's doing lots of stuff, which obviously gets the application of the knee going. But yeah, contact wise, it's not happening for him.
I really don't think. I don't think it's really necessary to even rush him, because as you alluded to earlier, that the team Mikel Arteta put out was capable of beating Bournemouth, you know, but sometimes, you know, players, I think in some sense get overly confident, you know, it's just going to be a stroll in the park maybe. If you can just look at the goal, because I had to rewatch the first goal, I didn't see it in real time. The positions of the players, you know, Zinchenko, it's the first kick of the game, yeah, but he's already into the midfield. You know, I think sometimes you just have to keep your position, wait, let the game come out, maybe 2 minutes. Once you guys have pinned the team in, then maybe you can drop back into midfield and do the business that you always do. But then the players, for me, it was a beautiful game. But as a fan, yes. But technically Mikel Arteta, after giving them last night to celebrate, needs to go and give them some spanking. You know, if this was, let's say, a Fulham or some team that is resolute, maybe we wouldn't have gotten anything out of this game. You know, we have to tighten up the defense. Last season, we were brilliant. You know, corners. I think we conceded 3 or so times the entire season. But the way we are defending these corners, oh my, I just get worried every time we are, defending a corner. Saliba, Gabriel, in some point in time, get your head onto the ball. Muscle. Gabriel is a big guy. Saliba is a big guy. Get in there and, make your presence felt, But that, for me, when I look at maybe the small technical side that I would look at, we cannot keep on conceding like this, That game against Leicester, brilliant. Total football. Against Everton, total football. We need to find a way of replicating this. I would say that this is a young side. They're going to have such performances, but the sheer character to come back from 2-0 down, it's absolutely, you just don't find that every day, But I think either way, Granit Xhaka has something. I would have sent a cab from here to go and take Granit Xhaka back to, I don't know, wherever he came from after what happened a few years ago. But the way this guy has turned it around, every single manager plays this guy, and some fans feel they know much more than the managers do. That shows that this guy has something. This guy he's a freaking leader. Guys know this guy, even if he's not the one with the armband, big character in that dressing room. And the fact that he was left out, we can all see, don't these players, have some time to talk to each other and be like, you know what, this is what you can do, how to better your game? Because you'll find Granit Xhaka is out, and it's like the person who is coming to replace him hasn't learned anything from the guy, You should at least learn something, say, this is the situation, this is how I deal with it sometimes, But the team that was put out in that first half should have done the business. You said earlier that they need to get minutes. Definitely. Tomiyasu needs more minutes than anybody else either, because looks like that game, that match sharpness is not yet there. And the more these players, you keep on playing the same 11, the players on the bench are going to, get a little bit rusty. So European football coming back is absolutely crucial. Some of those players need to get some minutes. They need to run around. They need to get in shape, because the last coming games are going to be absolutely important, and we need to have everybody doing the business, So yeah.
If I can make some observations from what you guys have been saying, so we seem to have misplaced Tierney somehow, or if he's I think he was on the bench. I'm not sure if he was on the bench. Look,
yeah, he was on
the bench. Kieran Tierney went in because we are in European action midweek. I think Tierney should make a return. Of course, Trossard's off, and we're not sure how long the injury is going to be. We've got Jorginho, who filled in for Partey. Again, he was on the bench as well. I don't want us to think, as you can. When I was a kid, it always used to be because when you're winning, it's all about momentum, and more solidifying that you kind of knows their role. Everybody knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And if you can't amongst that team will find a way that will make the for the team. So the manager can only influence so much. The players find those answers when it's not going for them. So we had Emerson Smith on as a sub for Trossard, and then he was subbed off. Chat, Colin Young made the observation. He felt that that might have been a harsh kind of decision. I think the only other person I remember who was a sub and who came on as a sub and was subbed off. Oh my God, I can see his face and I can't get his name.
The thing is, that's where I'm gonna pull it there. I'm taking my host duties here. I think that there's nothing related to that being subbed off and subbed on. I honestly think it was too early for Smith Rowe. He wasn't.
Say that.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I was going to say.
That's
the fact that
right.
He seemed a match too soon for him. If he came on maybe then that might have been better. But to put him in at the time when before a main player who was injured, he did look a bit off pace, as it were. So it was good to see that, upon realizing that, did a kind of like tactical switch. Difference with Reiss Nelson, he was far more alert, far quicker. Made the second goal. Of course, his goal was a goal as well. So that was very much needed. But I'm just saying how we've got quite a few players that we are in European action, I believe, this Thursday. So they will fit in those matches, because I must admit it'd be great for us to do the double. If we can put a European for that kind of season as well. But when with the fact that we've grind out some really good results, the main priority we don't have anybody else behind us other than Man. So they're just feeding their striker, and he's eating the Galactus of the universe. He's, no matter what you feed him, he'll score somewhere. But I'm just concerned that we do have a bench, but we don't want to rush any players. We don't want to rush Jesus. We don't want to rush Rowan.
Yeah.
He looked a bit off pace. It'd be good to just take him off, and then just to make sure it's all competition. When Tierney comes back in, was up a really good performance, then do you put him in the match against Fulham? We've got Fulham after Sporting Lisbon. So I know sometimes we can over criticize a point as well, but it's just main observation.
I think there's a problem with Tierney. I've got a feeling, and I hope it doesn't happen, but I've got a feeling he might go in the summer, and I think he might go to Newcastle. But I hope that doesn't happen, because he's a great player. He deserves to play. And to me, Zinni seems more of a midfield player than he does a defender. So maybe
that's the way they play.
Going back to your point before, Paul, maybe Zinni should be replacing Xhaka occasionally and playing Tierney at the back.
But again, it's more the shape rather than just the personality, isn't it? It's having that defender or that left defender to then kind of come in and then fit in. And it's fluid in the way he does it, and he patrols it. So you almost get another midfielder in there, at the right times. And it's what I'm saying. It's not just as simple as say, just put him into midfield and it would have the same kind of effect. And he could probably still play it.
Could he not play Partey? Could he not swap Partey then?
Well,
if you wanted to Xhaka down the side, could he not swap Partey? Do you not think? Because he can pass the ball as good as Partey.
I just think when you've got someone like that, and then with the probably free role that he's kind of got with the ball, then I don't see any other real way of how Arteta wants to play, because he wants to get that ball. He'll give him license to play with the ball and to move with the ball. Again, if he uses it well,
get Tierney involved a bit more. You know, that's what I was thinking.
It is, but again,
I think the finishing position of Granit Xhaka should be what you look at if you're thinking of putting Zinchenko into that position, because the final destination of Xhaka is in the half spaces up front, not actually there, like in the midfield as you would imagine Zinchenko is going to play, but also the system provides for that to happen. So if you then bring in Tierney, who is going to stay out there, though of course those overlapping runs that we used to do with Tierney have sort of died out, but Zinchenko has given us more control, and we are now able to pin pins in. But as you say, Tierney is a brilliant player.
Yeah,
I personally love the guy, but at some point, I think the general play of the team is going to be important. If he's there, maybe, as you said, he's going to, of course, have a run in those other competitions, but still, that is going to jeopardize the style of play. You saw when Tierney came on, I think that was against Everton, was it? He was trying to do the same role, but then the way he was standing, the flexibility, he's used to running out and then, putting in a cross, overlapping, and that kind of thing. This one, where he's in the midfield, turning around, man, he lost the ball, I think, once or twice, and we've seen how devastating that has been. Zinchenko lost the ball in that kind of scenario. Against which team was that? He gave away a ball that cost us Villa, yes. So that position is just not for everybody. You need someone there who is suited to the role. And that is why if we are going to go and play with the traditional left back, then Zinchenko still wouldn't be able to do that, because you have to get up, you have to get back and defend. And I really love Tierney, and it would be really sad to see him leave the club. But then what can you do? That is the system. And Alex Ferguson used to do that brilliantly. Once you have a system and you want to play, get players that are suited to the system. If he wants to leave, I think he would leave on good terms generally, because I think the wider Arsenal fan base love the guy. He's a likable guy. He's a guy that puts in the work. He's a fighter, basically. He puts in 110%. He said earlier one time that if you don't put in 100, you would rather not play at all, So to see him leave would really be sad, but I think the bigger picture should remain. The team should develop a style of play, stick to it, execute it well. Maybe someone can get a replacement for Zinchenko in the same kind of system that maybe Tierney cannot do at this moment in time. It would be really sad to see him leave, but I want the team to execute the plan that the coach has. Because at one point, I didn't want this guy to be at the club because I was like, man, we are getting bad, But I'm on board with the manager now, and I think he has this in the bag. And if he feels that, anyway, for Tierney's career and stuff, he would love to move to another club and then do his business over there. I wouldn't see anything bad in that. But I don't want it to become scandalous again, Agents like to play those games. He's not happy, he's not getting enough, game time. And then it becomes another issue, because we've been through that system where players want to leave, this, blah, blah, blah. I really don't want the club to get back into that kind of scenario. If he wants to leave, you can actually give him away like we did with Leno. at a smaller fee, give him the opportunity to go to a club of his choice and play his game over there. But I think we should stick to what we've been doing and get a replacement that suits that system, you know? Yeah.
No, 100%, Desmond. No, I look at it like that. Well, just kind of what you said. It's when he comes on and he tries to play that same role, he does look a bit more robotic, and it doesn't look as natural. And look, you're in a position where you're kind of tucking into those central spaces and looking to play risky passes and to try and get the reward at the end of the day. And yeah, you're gonna lose possession of balls. They're going to be passes that don't come off in those tight areas. Tierney's more, get the ball out wide and have a bit more space being out wide, and that's his play. But being tucked in, again, it isn't for everyone. And if you're not comfortable really with the ball at your feet, then you will find it really hard. But can you imagine Kieran Tierney actually being a right back? We'd be all right, wouldn't he? It'd
be fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, man. Well, he scored a beautiful goal, I think, 3 seasons ago against West Brom. I don't know whether you guys remember. On his right foot, cutting, bang. I don't know, but maybe you'll have just to put in crosses after cutting back in and maybe try to put crosses up there. But Kieran Tierney, I don't think he's good on both feet as maybe Tomiyasu also. But who knows? It's about trying it out and see whether that works.
So it's Reiss Nelson's goal yesterday.
I'm putting the jury out on Tommy at the minute.
It's Reiss Nelson's goal from yesterday, guys. Goal of the season.
It was a good goal.
I'm not really sure about if it's goal of the season, but that goal,
most important goal of
the season.
Very important goal.
I think if we win the league, this is one of the, if not the game, but one of the games we'll look back on and go, that's where it turned.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know what? If we can do that against Man City, if we can do that, and
I just don't understand how those guys even beat us. You know, just a little few mistakes, and over the years I've been used to that. And you know, I thought maybe we were past that, but
goals in that match, we gifted goals. You know, it's one of my frustrating critiques I would say about Arsenal. We give goals away. You don't see that from any other Premiership team below, I suppose, below maybe 10th. We gift goals away when we don't need to. We can match anyone there. We can match anyone. But what frustrates me the most is when we gift the goal, especially again, we don't need to do that. You know, let them
the famous phrase,
if they
architects of our own downfall.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we have had some shockers. I remember it used to be a constant joke of like we've just Arsenaled it, and it's like just real bad defending and just an absolute abomination of defending. It's
Mustafi, Kolasinac, Holding, Luiz, God.
Yeah, but nah.
But I think it's better now. But man, those days were hard to watch. You know, Europa League. 82 minutes, Mustafi comes on. 83 minutes, Mustafi has given away a goal. I'm like, man, what is going on? You know, but I think hopefully those days should be behind us.
Just one thing to add. I think we should congratulate Arsenal women as well.
Yeah, I was about to
today.
come on to
So
that. Brilliant.
I
Brilliant.
saw a bit of that.
Yeah,
One goal
3-1
down as
against
well.
Chelsea. Yeah, 1-0 down, 3-1 up. That's how Arsenal won the cup.
Well done, ladies.
Yeah, so it's quite pleasing,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah. I didn't
We
know
actually-
they'd gone like 4 years without winning the trophy.
Considering
I
as
think,
well, we haven't really got anybody up front at the moment who's putting them in the back of the net for the ladies.
Two main players out, and that's it.
Yeah, Mead and
Right.
Mar, they're both out at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I saw,
the Thursday night show will be all over that, I'm sure, with Ange and Richard. So, yeah, tune in for that show. It'll be a good one. Guys, I'm going to start delving into live chat now. We're gonna slowly wrap it up. I'm under instructions. We've got to go under the 2-hour limit. So, yeah, let's try and drill through this. Yeah, Cole in the house. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Carl.
He's buzzing. He is buzzing. Seventh heaven. Oh, dear. Resident Liverpool fan, Desmond. This is Cole. So,
Carl's wonderful.
Yeah.
Carl's a dude.
Liverpool beating Man United 7-0. I guess that's now a two-horse race now. And I'm not sure Gary Neville will still finish above Arsenal. He might still, but...
Oh, yeah.
He's hard-headed anyway. Very, very hard-headed.
Wages.
Yeah. But no, English Conversation Club. VAR, yeah, we can't control that. The only thing within our control is scoring goals. Yeah.
Very true.
Get the job
Absolutely.
done. Get the job done.
Yeah.
You
Don't
are.
rely on nothing else. Do it under your own power.
Yeah, John the Gooner, Evening Gooners, and Carl 7-Up, bro. Yeah, Richard, good evening. Yeah, I wonder if we made a record for most VAR decisions in a game
Liverpool.
and the most VAR decisions without getting a decision to go for a team. Yeah, I think we know that. I think we do get one of. I think if you put together a compilation of those penalty shouts, not from just say yesterday, but all over the last 2 years, there's teams that get penalties left, right, and centre, and then there's us, and we don't seem to get those, especially like Saka. Just look at those rugby tackles that we get in the box.
Suplexes, to be precise. It's mad. Like, I mean, refs really don't want to have a look at us. But as they say, we just have to go there and teams out. Period. 2, 3, 4, and just kill the game off. Once it comes down to VAR, not in a million years.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about VAR anyway. Let's get away from it.
Yeah.
English Conversation Club, evening Des, the enforcer. My mum is watching.
Shall I just get this out of the way, Paul? Here we go. Good evening, Sue. Hope you're watching. Hope you're enjoying it. And hope you're okay. Have a good week. And come on, you Gunners.
Oh, he's adding something else to it now. Come on, you girl. Carl, I believe that's a record for Liverpool, and you're back in with the Champions League shout. I'll tell you what, it'd be quite funny to see Tottenham not make top 4.
Yes.
They're the only chance now.
They're one down against Milan, aren't they? So, fingers crossed.
Yeah. English Conversation Club, right. Just seen on the channel, there was a question about Reiss Nelson. Do we offer him a new contract? I'll go for you, Ralph, first.
But that match alone, and he did come on against, I think, was it 4-2?
Yeah.
Early in the season, or was it
Yeah.
Newcastle? And the fact that he's just been unlucky with injuries. I would extend his contract and see how he goes without any injuries. Then bump up his I would. I'll give him an extension on his contract.
Enforcer.
Right. Can you become a legend in one match? Because give him an 8-year contract.
Jack up did, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So, no, he wants to play for Arsenal. Extend his contract. Like Al says, he's totally right. See how it goes from there. That's what I would do.
Desmond? Sign him up?
I really think maybe he deserves the contract from the sense that he has been on loan, multiple loans, he's had a lot of injuries, and maybe, in this kind of period, this kind of football these days, we need to have, contracts. Gone are the days where you have a player running down their contract, So I think he deserves a new contract, but then also in the interest of the club, they would then be in position to have him as an asset, in case he wants to move, to another club. Maybe they can get some good money out of him, but then I really think he deserves a contract because, boy, that goal might just win us the league, So, yeah, definitely for me.
Yeah,
it could be an impact player, Paul.
I look at him and I've followed him for a few years anyway, through when he was like obviously a real youngster. And look, this season where he's come back from the loan, and bear in mind, obviously that loan, he doesn't know what's going to happen when he comes back to Arsenal. He doesn't know if he's going to be in plan or whatever. When he started in pre-season, he was buzzing, and then that little bit before his injury, really good. And I saw him in the friendly against Juventus just after the World Cup, and that was when he obviously got the latest injury. And there's something about him, the style, the direct running with the ball. I find him exciting. Whenever I see him run with the ball, I look at him, I think, how quick is this guy? And I think I'd probably say he's probably the quickest dribbling with the ball. And to have that kind of player to really get at defenders, because those defenders, they were younger, like Italian defenders, and they looked scared. They looked really scared as soon as he kept on running. And then, he only lasted 20 odd minutes on that game, but that 20 minutes, they looked very worried. But I'd give him a contract, just again, protect your asset. If it doesn't work out in 2 years' time, you've got value for 3 years, and then you can make some money back on it. Look, can't be giving away freebies now, and we don't want another Gnabry. That's why I look at it, and I think that it could potentially be another one. You may get injuries through the early part of your career, but then all of a sudden it might just start clicking in. Growth spurts, everything like that. All of a sudden your body is totally fine. Then you go through life and you carry on playing. So, good question. English. Lots of welcomes, Desmond. Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Family. Conversation Club. Wow, how many guests are on Cannon Fodder TV? Wow. Yeah, it's all of us. Double Desmond as well, John Taylor said. Or double D.
So Fulham's our next Premier League match next.
Fulham is, on Sunday.
That's not going to be a walk in the park. That's not.
No, look, did you see the Premier League Manager of the Month nominations?
No.
So you had Silva, you had Ten Hag for winning the cup, then you had Antonio Conte.
What? Yes, he was
What?
I know the elephant in the room is who? Sorry.
He hasn't even been yet. What? What?
I've
Oh, right.
I've no idea.
You get now awarded a Manager of the Month award for being there in spirit. Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah, sympathy vote or something. I don't know what it is, but that's ridiculous.
What's
Yeah,
he done?
I don't know. Maybe just because he just decided to kind of stay at home and not get involved and just stay away.
Manage via Bluetooth.
That's a joke. Sorry, that is a joke.
But yeah, Conversation Club, Raz, we're loving your watch-alongs. Great stuff. So yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And then Richard again, yeah, ladies won their first trophy in 4 years. Yep. So yeah, look, they had a start just like the men. Really, really early goal. So to step up and then do what they did was really good. And yeah, I enjoyed watching the game. Really good. Desmond, question: who's been your favourite player this season?
Man,
One word
that is a good question for sure.
Quick fire. I would have 3 words. One from all of
It has to be Saka. It has to be Saka. For sure.
Saka.
Paula.
Ralph.
I'm gonna Saka would be one of mine, but I'm gonna go for a defense. I'm gonna go Saliba.
Enforcer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Odegaard.
I'll go Saka as well. I'm
Sorry, he's just doing things in midfield that are lighting the pitch up. You know.
There's a few. I'd love to pick a few, but
Yeah, I would. I'd love to pick a few, but yeah.
Yeah.
Put me on the spot, Odegaard.
cool. No, it's all good. It's all good.
I've got to say Saka, but I've got to say Saliba just mainly because of what happened to and you know when you have a bereavement, for a young player because he was lightening up the French league as well, and then to come into the Premiership, that's no mean feat. That's no mean feat. So for me,
I didn't ask for reasoning, Ralph. I just wanted one answer.
no,
One answer. That's all I wanted. One word. One word. That's all I wanted.
Oh, put your foot down, Paul. What's that all about?
Unbelievable. Gets him off. Cole says,
Don't get the yellow card.
yeah, yellow card. He's off. Ralph just needs to be more positive about his watch-alongs. 2 weekends in a row, he was so negative about Arsenal. Negative? Negative.
I'd say I was more observation. If I was negative, trust me, I would have flipped the table and I would have walked off the amount of times when we should have scored and everything. So I'm not negative. I just feel that a lot more in the final third, we seem to just try and go for a straight shot. You got to make the defense think rather than make them be predictable. So that's my my defense, as it were. I know Carl's probably but it's allowable. That's fine.
Yeah, Carl follows up. Where have we gone? Oh, where has he gone? He's gone missing. Yeah, Ralph, have faith in your team. Really hope Arsenal beat City to the league title. Well, look, it'll be. I think it's a nice storyline. I think for the league. I think with when you talk about these state-owned clubs, and again, it kind of goes back. It's kind of like a little bit like Man United when they had the young kids coming through. That's how I kind of put it like that, where they all come through at the same time. We've got a good group that has similarities to that Alex Ferguson team back in the 90s. So a young Ryan Giggs or a young David Beckham. Sorry, I won't mention their names ever again on this channel.
No.
No, I switched off then, mate, when you said them names.
Did you? Yeah, I thought, yeah, I switched off myself. It's fine. Tired Gunnosaurus, evening, mate. Can someone explain the point of VAR? Anyone? No?
No, move on.
No. There was a meaning, but it's been a bit clouded over time. Conversation Club. Paul, surely Arsenal cannot keep winning by their teeth. Look, as long as they're winning, I'd take like another 12 1-0 wins. No, we can't win. I'll say we can't give teams 2-goal head start. No, I hope that's the kick up the backside. I think that maybe we needed by winning that.
That's what we used to do in the playground, Paul. When you had one weak team against a stronger team, you can have 3-goal head start or whatever. You don't do it in the Premier League.
No. But again, it's one of those, isn't it? It's making sure that we're aligned now. And I think if there were any thoughts that we would be, it's only Bournemouth. That's been kicked out of the system after that, and they've seen the euphoria of what's happened at the end, and that's a big old kick for them. So, yeah, we can't do that, I'll tell you, and that is not going to be good for our health, 100%. Tired, yeah, David Dean formula is right. Play 60 minutes a game, but stop the clock when not playing football. Oh, this was the talk about they're trying to reduce the game time, aren't they?
Well, I want why not just stop the clock? Whenever there's an infraction or a break in play, the referees and you play on, and when the ball goes out, into red, then it's up to the referee if he wants the play to continue, or if it's enough. So I'll be happy if the referee can just say it's all that time wasting and everything else.
Yeah, I'd said something about that where they should, if the people are feigning injury and they're time wasting, they should be taken off the pitch or told to get off the pitch. They can't come back on until that ball goes back out of play again. They can't just be waved on because, again, that solves nothing. So if you've got, say, like Newcastle did, they had 3 players down at one point. And you almost just say, right, okay, yeah, those outfield players, you go off. And you can't come back on, or you get a yellow card as well, just to make sure people are not flouting it. But
I think penalizing guys for doing that would be the best way. Stopping the clock, I think, would also be good, so that time is definite. People can waste up to 10 minutes, 15 minutes in a match, and you will see them add just 6, and the fourth official feels that is a lot of time, Guys need to be booked. Guys need to be booked. And
the third goal shouldn't have stood because it was a minute outside of the extra time. But the truth of it was there was a Bournemouth player down for another minute, and all the referee did was add it on.
Yeah, so as soon as it hit like, did we score just before 90? Was 90? I'm trying to think. As soon as it kind of almost hit, as all the board come out, suddenly a player went down, and it was like literally straight up. It was just, let's kill another minute or so, and it was just you could just predict it. So, I don't know.
No, I think your observation about a yellow card and treatment off the pitch, it sees that the player can come back on, then come back on. But if they're feigning injury, then a yellow card.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing about head injuries as well. When people are going down and you've got VAR, if they're not using that rule correctly, where they're just going down holding their heads, so the referee will stop play when it's not that good.
Yeah.
That is
That's
a
You need to get booked.
The Everton game, Manana was down in the first 10 seconds.
yeah. He went down about 3 times, and one
Yeah.
there was no contact. So
After being shoved in the back, his head is in the back apparently. Yeah.
Must have a dodgy nerve in his back or something.
It's a joke.
But that was it.
Absolute joke.
Held his head, didn't he? Remember? In Brazil.
And we don't do
Holding right.
that, by the way. I don't know whether we're just too naive or what. We ever seem to play to the rules, and that gets on my nerves sometimes, because guys do this to us week in, week out, and we just let them, go scot-free.
Well,
if
we
there are
tried
no
to
rules,
play
we need also to use the rules that are there.
We tried to play football, and I think we're pretty good at alerting the ref. I think there were so many times we go into the ref, and he had Odegaard always kind of on with the referee, saying, "What's going on? Help us out. Start booking him." If they had booked the goalkeeper early on, you wouldn't have been having all this kind of like nonsense and time wasting. So let's say we had 3 yellow cards, including the dissent. So could have seen a goalkeeper sent off. Kiwori. How do we say that?
Kivio.
It's really hard for me at the minute.
Kivio.
And I watched one of the matches in the under-23s when he played, and he does look decent. I think he played the Chelsea game, and the range of passing looks good. But again, that what Conversation Club said, he's had some minutes in the under-23s, but Europa is not the time to use him. When will be the right time to use him? I mean, he's a squad player, so we've got to probably rotate players around. And I'm not sure I'd be wanting to be playing Saliba and Gabriel maybe in the defence in the Europa League. Certainly with these 4 games or 3 games around the corner in the league. Again, we look at priorities, don't we? We look at these 3. We have to get maximum points before we hit Liverpool in April, and then City and Chelsea. And you're suddenly thinking there could be a case that we do have a semi-second team for this Europa League. If we get through this one, then we can assess it, can't we? See who we get drawn against. But as I say, what would you rather be doing? A weekend side in Europe or the league? For winning the league and actually having that there. I know we want to win a trophy, but I think the bread and butter is the more important one, isn't it? Making sure we win the league and getting the results.
For me, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd like to win both. For me,
no, of course, yeah, so do I. But as I say,
for me, it's
put a team out there that can compete. Put a team out there that can compete and actually get a result.
Yeah,
but
for me,
you're
it's a choice. For me, it's league over Europe. If there's a choice.
Yeah, but look, we've got to go there, whatever. But as I say, this guy's come in to our first team squad. You've got to play him if they're able to. So it's not like he's an unknown. He can play. He's played in the World Cup. Look, why not? Why not? He's had big games, so yeah, give him a shot. How do you know? How do you know what he can do unless you do actually play?
I'd give him a shot. I'd give him a shot in Europe. I would.
Yeah.
While the Premier League is a very funny competition, you might look at a player from the outside and think, "Oh wow, he's brilliant." Once you get him into the Premier League match, that is when you know that you just messed up, So I think he needs to get some minutes outside of the Premier League. He needs to maybe a few minutes in the Europa League, and and then you can come in, because we don't want a situation whereby you dent his confidence, because you brought him in, he has made maybe a terrible mistake, and then boom, the guy never recovers from that. So I think the coaches will just want to ease him in, give him some game time in, those other competitions down there. And then, if they are confident, we've seen they did it with Saliba, sent him out, staff, guys were like, give this guy a chance. But I think, in all sense of the word, they know when they will bring him in and when is the right time. So, as they say, I will just trust the process.
Good words. Just a quick shout out to Conversation Club. A little donation to the channel. Yeah, great show, lads. No, thanks for the feedback. Glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, it won't be a show without all you guys watching and putting your comments in. So it's buzzing again in this. I could spend 3 hours again in this chat. I think I could actually do it. I reckon I could do an all-nighter, just literally just going through the chat and just going through.
I reckon I could do one with you, Paul.
Talking all night about Arsenal. Not sure the wife would agree though.
My missus says I can stay on as long as I like. Apparently, if I'm talking to you, I'm not talking to her, and that's good, apparently. So. Have you froze, Paul? I think Paul's froze. Yeah, he's froze. Ralph, you're still with us.
Am I alive? Am I still going?
You're back.
Yeah,
You're there for a minute.
Going.
I've become Ralph this week. I'm now fully.
Ralph. Ralph can't help it. He lives in the mountain.
So if someone comes on the show and has a bad connection, are we now saying he's done a Ralph? Is that how it? Is that it?
Is that where we're going, guys?
That's it.
Is that where we're going? Are we really going that
I didn't like to say it.
He's done a Ralph.
He's done a Ralph. Okay. Why?
Nah, but guys, really good stuff. Really good viewpoints tonight. I'm gonna wrap it up. We've saved half hour or over half hour from the recent ones. But yeah, predictions for next week. Go on then. There's been a few in the chat. Fulham. Oh, I don't know. I think he come on actually at the weekend actually, so I would imagine he would be.
Mitrovic is playing. I would say
2-1. You'd say.
Yeah. 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. Desmond. Fulham.
I'll go for a 3-1. I think we won't be able to keep a clean sheet, but I think this time the boys are going to be on it and we should get some goals.
Yeah. Ralph?
I'm going to go to Lisbon 2-0. Fulham 2-1.
2-1. Yeah, I think
3-0 against Lisbon.
3-0 against Lisbon. What, away from home? Oh.
Yeah.
Take his positivity. I was going to Lisbon. I'm going with you. Someone who's been really, really, really positive. That beer will be flowing quite well, I reckon, with that kind of outlook. Look, I think we're going to have two really hard games in all those. And they gave Tottenham the game in the Champions League, didn't they? So, not saying much, but it's not the barometer to really kind of go on giving Tottenham a good game. But look, we're doing really well. We're doing a lot better than we did against Tottenham last season. So I think Yeah, I think Fulham will be a 2-1. Yeah, both teams to score, but get a win. Just get a win. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just a 1-0 last kick of the game. Reiss Nelson, like just for the edge of the box, with his weak foot. I'll take that 1-0. Yeah, come. Yeah, I'm locked in.
I'll rip your arm off, mate. I'll rip your arm off. Honestly.
But yeah, no, that's it. It's gonna be an important few days, isn't it? I say, look, what? Yeah, 26 days.
Yeah.
26 days, and we get past Leeds, and then I'm guessing it's an international break in between that, isn't it? So the 1st of April and then the 9th. I think we've got an international break on the way.
12 Premier League matches to go, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have 9 left after that, I think, if I correct.
Game by game.
Yeah, so Fulham, Palace, Leeds get 9 points, and then we have 9 games remaining.
You've got to say as well, an impressive bounce back from losing to Man City to win 4 on the bounce. You know?
Yeah. But we just got to take it. I think we've just got to take it as like mini series, haven't we? Like little mini kind of group stages where we just do 3 games at a time.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you very much, Ralph, for coming on again.
Pleasure.
The
Good seeing you guys.
Yeah, thanks to the chat. You kept it lively tonight. It's been a pleasure to be on with you guys. I love these Sunday evenings. Great show, Paul. Thanks for letting me be part of it. Great to meet you as well, Desmond.
That's all good.
Yeah.
I was going to come to Desmond. Yeah, no, Desmond. Debut. Great one. Really good. So, yeah, really good to see you, and hope to have you on again. And, yeah, keep well and keep smiling, because I haven't seen him stop smiling. Desmond, smiler. So it's all good. But yeah, right. There's reasons to smile.
A pleasure. A pleasure.
And the world is a nice place now. So yeah.
You know, guys, in the town, this is how I move around. Yeah, I got swag. I got my swag back. You know, it's incredible. Yeah.
I think that's how everyone should walk now down the streets.
Yeah.
I know, seriously, guys, really good,
Beautiful.
really good, and I hope next week, we come away with 2 real positive results. And look, really good. Oh, okay, we've already done that. Yeah. So yeah, all good. You've watched the
guys
Big Sunday show. Please drop us a like on Cannon Fodder TV. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you can also subscribe to In the North Bank as well, my channel, it would be a big help. So yeah, follow us on Twitter, get involved, and look, keep singing, keep smiling. We are the Arsenal, and we're gonna hopefully win the league.
Take care, guys.
See you later.
Let's go. Do a stick.
Come on, you Gunners.
Take care, guys.